Hey beautiful people, I haven't sat down yet. Today we're going to be going over Dreamwork's How to Train Your Dragon, which if you haven't seen it yet, you probably should go see it. I mean, that's kind of the whole premise of this entire channel, is me just talking about shows that, well, I guess I'm kind of giving you the what for. Do you want to watch it or do you not? That's what we're here to decide. Hopefully you do go watch it. I'm not trying to take anything away from the creators of these movies and shows, but if I do think it's a total crapshoot, I will let you know. So today we're going to be talking about How to Train Your Dragon by Dreamworks, and I, like many others back in the day, parked myself in front of a TV screen with a juice box and a bowl of popcorn, ready to have my freaking mind blown. Fast forward all these years later, and I sat down to do it again, only this time I got a lot to say, so yeah, we're gonna go take a walk.
Nice of you to join the party. I thought you'd been carried off.
Who, me? No, come on, I'm way too muscular for their taste. They wouldn't know what to do with all this.
Hiccup is our main man, and he's going to show all of us girls out there that you don't need muscles and a strong jawline in order to do that. Those are just superficial things that can easily be substituted for with a dragon, which, as you and I know, are all just a dime a dozen to come by, so I don't know why more guys don't have them. Now, Hiccup's big struggle here is he just wants his father's love and approval, as do the rest of us, but he can't get it until he does the one thing that his father wants him to do, which is join the football team.
What is he doing out again? What are you doing out? Get inside!
Oh, I'm sorry, not the football team. Commit murder, that's it. Just get out there and kill something, son. Kill it. Kill it good. So Hiccup goes out to do just that, and along his way he realizes that there are all kinds of different ways to murder. So, you know, he just decides that he's gonna kill this dragon with friendship. Friendship. And in doing this, Hiccup gets the girl he loves to hate him, and the town to love him, and then he rides a dragon, and then he gets the girl to love him again, and then he gets the town to hate him, and then finally for real kills something, and he loses a leg, and then town loves him, and then finally his dad is like, I love you, son. And he gets his dad's approval. Now this is just me being nitpicky, but in all honesty, like, one thing about this show that I observed, we'll say, with my eyeballs while I was watching it. I don't know where that accent came from. But one thing I did observe while watching this show is that, I mean, I know this was 2010, so it's not like super old, but it is older. And in comparison to like the newer stuff that's coming out and how realistic everything feels, there were some parts where the art to me personally felt like a little detached and kind of flat. Like in the scenes where they're flying through the sky, I feel like I just don't feel like they lined up as far as like the same style maybe is what it was. I don't know. I'm not trying to knock it. I know I could not have done anything remotely good. I mean, I would come up with something like this. Honestly, if it was me, this would be the whole movie. And I don't know how many people would want to actually pay to see that. Yeah, I don't know. I just observed in watching it now, watching it back, it just kind of felt a little disconnected in some areas of the artwork in comparison to like what there is now. But if you want to know what really irritated me, it was the audio, in all honesty. As an editor, God, the audio was just the worst. Because it's the same. It's the same no matter what they were doing. I mean, you have these two characters whizzing through the air, being whipped all over the place by a dragon, and they sound exactly the same.
He said he's not usually like this. Oh no. Toothless, what are you doing? We need her to like us. And now the spinning. Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
Now I know Hiccup is doing like his commentary while he's on the dragon, and he's kind of making his, you know, offhanded remarks like, you know, you're not helping me get this girl, and he calls him a useless reptile. He just is so even toned. You know, you would think the levels would be off a little bit, just a little bit. Even so, like even if they don't want to give us a headache, being like all while he's getting flipped around in this dragon, there are other areas where I feel like they could have done that, and they didn't, because it just always feels like the person is right next to the camera. So I have the mic in my shirt. I don't know how that makes you all feel, but you all are in my shirt right now, so take that as you will. But if I'm here talking to you, if I move closer to the camera, I sound the same. And if I'm all the way back here, I sound exactly the same too. So I don't even need to yell at you, you know? See what I'm saying? It's just weird. I found it odd, okay? That's what it made me think of. Like, just it didn't matter what they were doing, they were always sounding the same. So yeah, that was my beef with it, but enough said.
You see, most places have mice or mosquitoes. We have dragons.
So really early on in the movie, pretty much within like the first 5 minutes or so, we learned that everybody has a horrible name.
My name's Hiccup. Great name, I know, but it's not the worst. Parents believe a hideous name will frighten off gnomes and trolls.
We've got this gang of teenagers, which seems to be the only teenagers or kids really in this entire village. So I guess everyone, not even everyone, like what, 5 couples got busy at the same time and managed to have kids that weren't like picked off and carried away by dragons, I suppose. I don't really know why there's such a lack of youth.
I suppose we could just get out and ask any of these street youths.
Anyway, they're all supposed to have these horrible names.
Oh, and that's Fish Legs, Snot Lout, the twins, Rough Nut and Tough Nut.
You know, you got Rough Nut, Tough Nut, Snot Lout, Fish Legs, which I believe Fish Legs was played by Jonah Hill. The second I realized that was Jonah Hill's voice, I was like, I'm not okay with this. Because I like Jonah Hill quite a bit. And to realize that Jonah Hill was playing one of these characters, it just, I don't know, it just sat weird with me. I wasn't a huge fan of it. But regardless, they all have these horrible names. And of course you have Hiccup. And then you got the one girl.
Astrid.
You have Astrid, which if you look up what Astrid means, it translates to divinely beautiful. Now, she is played by Ugly Betty, so maybe that's where they were trying to justify it. I don't know what the thought was there. Seriously, like in a village where everyone's naming their kids these horrible things to keep them safe, I mean, that just seems like a big stick it where the sun don't shine from Astrid's parents to, well, pretty much the whole religion belief system that this town has, because they just were like, nah, we're not gonna follow that. Traditions of religions and customs of our village. Nah. I mean, let's be serious here. She grows up, she's like basically a brooding emo chick, and she's got like the spaghetti noodle thing going on for hair, and like, to be completely honest with you, like, why didn't we just call her that? Like, or gluten-free? No, what would have been terrifying is if she wasn't gluten-free, if she was gluten noodles, gluten noodle braid, because I'm sure gluten was probably already taken. Somebody in that village was like, my kid will never be touched, naming them gluten. I'm just on my little tangent here. If I was living on that island and I had any say in what my name would be, I would be like Sugarless Gummy Bear. Ain't nobody but the village idiot is even gonna come close to a sugarless gummy bear. Yes. Now every time I see this show, because like I said, I've seen this show before as a kid, and now I've come back as an adult and, well, kid in an adult's body to watch this show again and be like, what's happening? And every time even as a kid, every time this massive dragon shows up and they're fighting it, I'm like, there is nothing they can do. And this thing is terrifying, because let's be honest, like this is like a Godzilla moment, but they don't have the artillery to deal with it the way that they dealt with Godzilla. But the part that amazes me the most is that the second the Night Fury appears, like, forget this giant, massive wall of rock-hard and fire-breathing meat that's right in front of us. Like, everyone is so terrified, like 4,000 times more terrified when they hear that a Night Fury is now involved, that they just forget what's right in front of them. And I find that interesting that, you know, the fear of the unknown is always gonna trump what's literally right there in front of you. And maybe that's what the true moral of the story really is, kids. Until next time, peace. Because it sounds exactly the same.